Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back. We've got to celebrate today because the prices just keep going up in the PulseChain ecosystem. PHEX, EHEX, PulseX, Pulse. A lot of coins within the ecosystem, but the big four, okay, these are the big four, the blue chips of the PulseChain ecosystem. If you're buying into Pulse, most likely you're starting with HEX, PulseX, and PLS token itself. Guys, the tokens are pumping. Look around you. We are experiencing major pumpage across the board. Guys, look at this, the 30-day chart. 50% up on Pulse, 65 up on PulseX, and almost 100%, 96% gains on PHEX. Whereas EHEX, as we all know, EHEX has done about a 3x. Okay, let's see. Let's see right now. 224% rise. We got as high as 280% in the past week alone. We can't ignore this, guys. When the green candles are here, it's the best time to get the message out. It's the best time to advertise, and it's the best time to sell these ideas. Because we're all selling ideas at the end of the day, all right? People have an adverse reaction to the word sales. All right, they think sales is icky, like you have to be some used car salesman. You know why? They invented the word sleazy car salesman to keep you from thinking that you could sell anything at all, to keep you as a cog in the machine, a cog in the wheel, right? If you're part of the 9-to-5 grind, the rat race, the war machine, they don't want you to be selling anything. All right, so that's why people get mad when they, people will hear other people shilling ideas, right? And they'll be turned off like, oh, you're a salesperson. That's so gross. Everybody is selling something. And if you're not, well, then you're buying something. You're consuming thoughts, you're consuming material goods, and you're consuming ideas. So we're out here and we're selling the best ideas, the best products. I mean, look, even Jesus Christ was a salesperson, right? Because he had ideas that he wanted to sell and other people to believe. And so HEX, trustless yield, PulseChain, PulseX, real DeFi, really decentralized, 45,000 validators, PulseX buy and burn function, which by the way, let's take a look at this over here. Look where my mouse is. 2.4%. PulseX, 2.4% of the total supply, the active circulating supply that is, has been burnt. It no longer exists. So every time people are trading on PulseX, for people that don't know, PLSX, the token, is bought and burned out of existence. It's bought on the open market and it's burned. And that's the two best possible things you can do for the price. Buying it makes the price go up. Burning it takes supply out of the system. And the gains in the past 30 days have just been incredibly remarkable. But what's more, what else, guys? Richard Hart is back. Not like he ever left. A lot of guys got really insecure. A lot of people were freaking out over the past 3 months saying that Richard Hart's gone. He never really left. Okay, first of all, he never really left. He's been tweeting this whole time. Just because he's not live streaming, if you're that insecure that you need somebody to be live streaming for you every single day to somehow maintain your community, well, that's not a community that's very strong. So the HEX and PulseChain community, we picked up the slack when Richard was a bit more inactive, but he never fully went away. So a lot of people were freaking out, crying. Those people, they're probably not going to make it. And clearly a lot of them have probably exited the ecosystem. They've sold, they've fudded themselves out. They fumbled the soap. Okay, they dropped their potatoes and they fumbled the bag. Okay, because they got scared, because they needed some hero figure to constantly be live streaming them, telling them everything is going to be okay. Richard never left. And Richard's confidence right now is exuding all over Twitter. Look at these past tweets, guys. Read some of these tweets. These are bullish tweets. This guy is confident. He is projecting major confidence right now. Reading about how many lies everyone was telling you. Reading about how you thought everybody that was straight up was actually crooked. I told you the truth while everyone else lied to you. So many of my inventions have performed flawlessly while others failed. Look around. We won. We won. So a lot of good positive sentiment coming from Ricardo himself. And look, what could that mean? You could take that to mean whatever you want it to mean. What it basically means is it sounds like he's confident, and so is the rest of the community. Well, the ones that were actually here for the long term, the ones that actually believed. And it feels like a lot of the non-believers have been rinsed out of the ecosystem. We could see that by the giant green candles with minimum sell pressure, because we've been grinding sideways and down, 60, 80% off the highs for the past 5 months now. I think we really have exhausted a lot of the weak-handed plebs. All the paper hands, soy boy, lettuce hands, the people that didn't believe, the people that were kicking and screaming because they needed Daddy Richard to be live streaming for some reason. I'm just going to say it one more time. Richard never left. He's been here the whole time. You know what other founders have left? Dan Larimer, EOS, BitShares, Steemit. This Dan Larimer guy, he's a founder of cryptocurrencies, and he's not a serial entrepreneur. He's a serial ghoster of his own projects. We've got people like Charlie Lee. People still love Litecoin, but somehow nobody cares when Charlie Lee, the founder of Litecoin, dumps all of his Litecoin, tells the public, and then you barely ever hear from him again. There are so many founders like this. And so to say that Richard is gone is it's just not true. It's just not true. And today he's more active than he usually is. Okay, just because he doesn't post every day doesn't mean he's gone. He's posting at least once a week, usually way more often than that. And you got to admit too, I mean, his hands are probably tied to a degree from this potential SEC case, but he seems confident that we're going to win. Look, Hexakin, PulseChain, PulseXicans, unite! And these epic screenshots of some giant green candles, 62, 70%, 135% up. This is the last week alone, guys. This is from the last 7 days. Really incredible growth here. So, look, everything is pumping, and RH is back. It is what it is. Everybody is so scared that when the founder leaves, that the project is going to die. And they're right. You are correct. I mean, things kind of aren't the same after a project dies. Look at Satoshi. Satoshi ghosted everybody, and look at the chaos that is the current Bitcoin community. Right now, look, Bitcoin was able to thrive and survive for 14 years and do pretty astronomical gains without a founder. So I just got to say, for people that, if anybody's criteria for whether or not to buy a coin is whether or not the founder is streaming on YouTube every day, when he could clearly be doing much better, more important stuff. I mean, Richard's building. People don't realize that. You know, I'm pretty sure, I don't talk to the guy. I literally do not talk to him at all. But people go where they're most effective. All right, and so Richard is probably more effective right now, you know, building or directing people to build things and making the ecosystem better. You know, he's out there fighting for the cause of crypto. He's out there getting people to, you know, write letters to the corrupt SEC and IRS about these terrible proposed rule changes. So he's fighting for the rights of all of the crypto community, and people aren't seeing that, but I definitely am. So that's what's really going on in the HEX PulseChain ecosystem right now. And well, Mr. Ricardo Corazon, he's taken a bit of a backseat approach. He's never left, but a backseat approach. He's given all the real community members, all the great, brilliant YouTubers out there. Look at this, guys. Hundreds of people, hundreds of content creators. Name me one other community other than the PulseChain real DeFi ecosystem that's got this many content creators and counting. This is YouTube, Twitter, all kinds of different platforms. They're streaming, they're making content. I am only merely one person in this giant list of people that have never been paid by any centralized entity because we are a real grassroots organic movement. I can't stress that enough. It confuses people because they think there must be some kind of organization here. These are literally just people, including myself, that really like PulseChain. We really like HEX. We're like the fan club. All right. We're like fans of a sports team. And so people think there's some grand conspiracy theory going on. These are like Patriots fans. All right. It just happens to be that we have the winning team. We have the best team. And yes, we're taking our victory lap. I understand. I'm going to make fun of us for a second, guys. I'm going to show you this meme. Part of me realizes how funny it is that, yes, we are 200% up after being 98% down. So maybe we're like the third place guy right here. Maybe that's us right now. We might be this third place guy. That was where my mind went when I saw everybody taking their victory lap. But you know what? Screw it. We still got to celebrate the small wins. We're in this for 15 years, and it would be a long time to wait without celebrating some small wins along the way. So let's have fun with it. Let's pop the champagne, even though we're in third place. Yeah, maybe Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe they're still ahead of us, but you know what that means? It just means we've got a lot more room to grow into, doesn't it? A lot more room to grow. We're only just getting started here. So although Richard says we've won, now what does that mean? I have no idea. Is he referring to something legal? I think he's more so, you know, Occam's razor. He's probably really just referring to the fact that PulseChain, PulseX, HEX have 100% uptime. They have not been hacked, whereas everything else in DeFi, every fake DeFi protocol, every centralized entity that stole everyone's money, people lost everything. So if you're holding HEX, PulseChain, PulseX, sure, the prices go up and down a lot. They're very volatile. You might have bought a coin and then it goes down in price. Maybe you're down a little bit on HEX. Maybe you're down a little bit on PulseChain. But you could have lost everything in Luna. You could have lost everything in BlockFi. Could have lost everything in Celsius. Could have lost everything in Three Arrows Capital. I could go on and on and on. Pickle.finance, Yams. There's so many rug pull charts with a giant red death candle forever that just never make it back. So what else is Mr. Ricardo Corazon tweeting about? Who likes on-chain liquidity with no counterparty risk? What does that mean? Look at this green right here. Look at this green. We're going to hop over to Dex Screener. We're going to show you what this means. Dex Screener is the only place worth looking at when it comes to on-chain data and kind of coin ranking sites. Because you've got CoinMarketCap, which is fully owned by Binance. Guys, by the way, CoinMarketCap is owned by CZ, special competing interests, and they have a vested interest in suppressing the price of HEX. They actively keep HEX on the third page at rank 201, when it should be on the front page, somewhere around rank, 50 or so right now. We all know this is happening. Some people even tried to sue CoinMarketCap earlier in the last bull market, which that lawsuit didn't go anywhere. But we just know that CoinMarketCap is corrupt. They're poop. They lie to you. They gatekeep HEX. They gatekeep a lot of coins off the front page. And when you're owned by a centralized exchange like Binance, obviously there's some conflicts of interest going on. It's a clear, blatant conflict of interest. So if you want real on-chain data, dexscreener.com, look at the very homepage today. Look, we're organizing by liquidity. So what dexscreener.com is going to do for you is it's going to default you to organize by transaction count. Now, we don't care about transaction count because this can be faked. You could have one bot trading $1 back and forth between itself and another bot all day long and really rack up these transactions and make it look like these coins actually matter. Solana is notorious for doing this, by the way, which is why we see Solana coins with fake transaction count up in the top there. We sort by liquidity because liquidity is it's harder to fake. And yes, you can fake liquidity. But Dex Screener does a good job of trying to pull out some of the low volume, high liquidity pairs. Because yes, you can make a giant liquidity pair and trade one coin to yourself for, $10,000, and then all of a sudden your liquidity is super high. This can be manipulated. But when Dex Screener manually pulls out all the legitimate data, this is what is Richard Hart tweeting about, guys? Let's go take a look again. On-chain liquidity with no counterparty risk. This is the real on-chain data that is not fake, that has no counterparty risk, meaning it's not centralized. These are all the coins and their liquidity that are off of centralized exchanges. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, this is the real DeFi. These are the real DeFi liquidity books, all right? And when you look at number 7 and number 9, HEX Pulse and Pulse DAI, $19 million of liquidity on the Pulse DAI chart. DAI is a stable coin for people that don't know. And $28 million of liquidity between HEX and Pulse. It's incredible. We're in the top 10 liquidity pools after 5 months of existence. We're in the top 10 competing with Ethereum and Binance and some of the other big players. All right, look over here. Even look on the left-hand side over here. Look at the ranking. Dex Screener also ranks the blockchains, all the layer 1s, by popularity and by usefulness, by how much they're currently being used. So we've got Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain. And what's this? PulseChain coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th place. 7th place after 6 months or less. PulseChain hasn't even been around half a year yet. A lot of these other chains have been around for many, many years. Ethereum has been around for 9 years. Binance Smart Chain, I think 6 years, maybe 7. So it's no wonder that they're in the top 2 or 3 spots. But PulseChain being a contender when it's this young, if you're not paying attention to this right now, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out. This is the contrarian play that people don't want you to know about. And the mainstream influencers might start shilling it to you when it's already at the peak because they want to dump on you because that's their game. That's what the mainstream influencers do. I'm not like those fake influencers out there. I don't even like to call myself an influencer. But what's different about me is I'm not paid by sponsorships. I'm not paid by a third party. Nobody has ever paid me to promote anything. You've got people like Bankless out there that are literally, they were sponsored by FTX, sponsored by middlemen. The middlemen that crypto was invented to get rid of, they're taking money from them. You got these people like Crypto R Us, who is taking money from people at Celsius. He's promoting Celsius, right, which went bankrupt, and he's pulling his money off of Celsius. All these records came out. They were leaked, by the way. This guy's pulling his money off of Celsius as he's telling everybody else to go join Celsius at the top of the bull market, feeding everybody into the meat grinder, getting them all wrecked, and then has the nerve to take a shot at HEX and PulseChain. And all the community members calling them all stupid. Like, people out there don't want you to succeed. They don't want PulseChain to succeed. They don't want HEX to do well. But it is. Let's look at the gains today. On this chart, 20% up in the last 24 hours on Pulse. HEX is up 40%, just melting faces right now. I can't believe it. I mean, the bull market hasn't even started yet, and people are aping into some of these coins. Look, maybe they're priming their bags. And is it still early? I mean, I really do think it is still early. You want to know why? These coins haven't even gotten back to their sacrifice prices yet. All right, look at the Pulse DAI chart. You see this yellow line here? This yellow line is where the majority of people in the sacrifice set roughly got the value of their PLS tokens. Now, roughly, because obviously Pulse started at 0 value, but it shot up from there. And once it had a value, 0.0001 is the reference point that a lot of people are using. And so I know we're going kind of parabolic right now, but we haven't even hit, the line that a lot of people got in at before PulseChain even existed. Okay, so this 0.0001 is a very important metric to keep an eye on. And I know we're ripping up right now. And yes, there could be a pullback. There probably will be some kind of a pullback. But when you're asking, are we still early? We're not even back at the sacrifice prices. And it's even more evident on PulseX. Okay, it's even more evident if we could take this chart right here. We've got a long way to go on PulseX. So that's when I say potentially PulseX has even more upside potential. Now, I do believe PLS will probably outperform PulseX in the next cycle. But in the long run, who knows? PulseX might be the long-term winner one day. And look at all this empty space here. Now look, I know if you zoom in on only the past 7 days, it looks like, oh wow, look at this parabola. Should I really buy that parabola? Just think to yourself. The vast majority of participants in this ecosystem, they got in at this line. So we could have a long way to go before we even get back to sacrifice prices. We could have a long way to go before then. So things are pumping. It feels good. But just realize that the bull market hasn't even started. Bitcoin, it just cracked 30K. It is bullish. The halvening is coming. The ETFs are coming for Bitcoin. Very bullish things happening for Bitcoin. But we just cracked 30K. We just cracked it. We've been grinding sideways on Bitcoin for a long time too. So careful where you're getting your information from, guys. Everyone wants to know, why is it pumping? Why is it pumping? I thought HEX was a scam. I thought PulseChain was a scam. They're not scams, guys. They're not scams. You need to open your eyes. Don't listen to your favorite mainstream influencers. Chances are they're lying to you, and sometimes chances are they're even bought a bag that they're going to shill to you later. Whereas I'm here shilling to you now at the bottom of a bear market. And I've been here for the last 3 months, so I know there's a lot of new people probably coming in because they see the green candles, as I've been here through the bull and the bear. You don't have content creators like this in other coins. You don't have anybody on Ethereum or Uni token, for example, that are ride or die for their coins, that have never been paid, right? 90% of these influencers, and I don't consider myself an influencer, all right? I'm going to use the term content creator because I pay myself. Well, how do I pay myself? I have a business, I sell courses, but on top of everything, I actually have made good investing decisions, and I am a long-term holder in crypto for the last 9 years, and I teach people that long-term holding wins. And it seems like nobody else is saying that. Nobody else wants to talk about long-term holding. They're here to get you on your dopamine fix of this coin of the week or that flavor of the month. They don't care about you because all they care about is their sponsorships and saving their reputations by not looking bad and not talking about the dirty, naughty, evil Richard Hart, which everybody has just made into this grand villain when he's the only person telling the truth out here. Look, guys, I feel so sorry. This is Richard's tweet. For those that ignored my advice to not pick up pennies in front of freight trains. He's talking about all the people that put their money on FTX, on Luna, on Celsius. He says, I feel sorry for those that bought the top, even though I called the top. I feel sorry for those that take no personal responsibility for those mistakes. Ignorance is expensive. So that's what crypto's all about, guys. Taking responsibility for your own actions, not relying on some internet guru, not relying on me to tell you what to do, not asking other people for financial advice. Making up your own mind and making up your own financial decisions based on knowledge, based on data and critical thinking that you do your own research on. So for all the new people coming in here, I want to just end with a quote really quick. Scott Fitzgerald, I don't even remember what this guy did, but he's famous for some reason, and he's got this good quote that I've always liked. I want to let you guys know something when we're going into the bull market, when you're hearing contradicting ideas from fake influencers that just want to wreck you and sell you Bybit trading links, show you margin trading where 90% of people lose, versus the people that are telling you long-term holding like me, okay? The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas in mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function. What does this mean, guys? When you're confronted with a new thing, something that everybody else taught you was a scam, everybody else just told you don't even look into it, don't even do the research on it, it's definitely a scam, nothing to see here, maybe consider taking the other people's point of view. You know, these 150 content creators, these thousands and thousands of holders. Guys, we've got 125,000 HEX stakers. We've got 45,000 PulseChain validators. We've got tens of thousands of people that actually are in this community. It's a global grassroots organic community. And so maybe consider holding two ideas in your head at the same time. You know, you've got the believers and the non-believers. And if you've never tried to experience the viewpoint of the believers, maybe give them a chance, hear them out, hear what they have to say. And then you can make up your own mind about who's got a more logical argument. Is it a scam? Why is it a scam? Do the people that are calling scam all day long, do they have a good argument? What about these people over here? Maybe give some of them a try. Maybe subscribe to your friend Sami or Corey Costa. I don't know. There's so many of these guys. Axis Alive, RG3. All these guys are making content all day, every day. They're yelling on Twitter. They've got a huge megaphone. And we're amplifying our voice, amplifying our message of real DeFi, real decentralized finance, the way crypto was supposed to be. Not fake DeFi Uniswap, not outdated technology Bitcoin. Bitcoin's okay, but I'm not buying it for the mad gains, I'll tell you that. Look, guys, intelligence is the ability to look at both sides of a thing and come to your own conclusions, to hold two opposing viewpoints in your head and not dig your head in the sand just because you heard from some guy, some guy on the internet told you, oh, that thing's a scam. Don't even bother looking into it. You know, it's funny that actually has the opposite effect on some people. Intelligent people will hear, an authority figure say, don't do this. And what do? It makes them want to do it 10 times more. It's like the classic, the Catholic schoolgirls, right? Why were they always the craziest ones? Because they had an incredibly strict upbringing. Now, not just schoolgirls, school children, right? If you went to a strict school and you were repressed and you were told you can't do something, all you're thinking about all day long is, oh, I want to do that thing. I want to be naughty, So a lot of people, when they try to suppress HEX, they try to suppress PulseChain, they're actually doing our advertising for us. Because the people with any drop of intelligence at all that don't just blindly follow authoritarian viewpoints, and that's most of the people in crypto, right? A lot of people in crypto have this distaste for authority. So when an authority within the crypto ecosystem comes along and says, yeah, that HEX thing, don't worry about it. That's all a scam. Do not mind the man behind the curtain, right? It makes you want to look, doesn't it? It makes you want to look. You know what else makes you want to look? Big, juicy green candles, big, girthy, 26% green dildos today. So if the scam narrative doesn't make you a little bit curious, maybe the green candles will. It's not too late to join. And yes, prices are volatile. They could dip 50% tomorrow for all I know. But hey, is that a dip buying opportunity for the bull market? Or are you going to get scared and run away? Scream scam. The choice is entirely yours. You know where I stand. It's obvious where I stand. Buy HEX or not. I'm just giving you the option, giving you the other point of view over here. So I hope you learned something. If you found this valuable, smash the like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. All that stuff takes less than 1 minute, and it really does help us all go viral. As you can see, we're already going viral. We're taking over, right? We're taking over. You can't ignore HEX and PulseChain anymore. And finally, if you're brand new to crypto, I do have a course out called hexpassiveincome.com. Link in the description below. You can also get your affiliate links if you're a crypto veteran, but if you know nothing about crypto, if none of this makes any sense, this is a zero to hero course where I hold your hand with 24 hours plus of content. I'm always adding more stuff, 37 lessons. It's all organized sequentially. You can refer back to it. It's worth way more than 2 hours of my time. You're getting incredible value in this course. All right, all the links are there for you to go back and reference. And oh, I almost forgot, there's a code, Bear Market. Use code Bear Market for 25% off. So I'm giving it away for a lot cheaper than I really should be right now. So just check that out if you want to learn about crypto, if you're brand new. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the PAMP.